Am I the asshole for going no contact with family, pushing me to find a new wife and a new mother for my children? I, 31 male, lost my wife and the mother of my children 5 years ago. Ever since, I have been working on rebuilding myself and my life and making sure my children are doing okay, on top of grieving for the love of my life. The three of us have been to counseling, me when my wife first died and my kids when they got a little older, as they were 2 and 3 when she died. I did go back to therapy last year to help with some family issues I was having centered around my loss, and that's what brings me here today. I have not dated or been interested in dating since my wife died. I don't know if I'll ever be interested. But I can say right now it holds no interest for me, and I personally don't think it will. The first year my family were all great. They gave me and the kids space when we needed it, and they came and supported us when it was needed too. My in-laws and them had a pretty decent relationship at that time too, but it changed a little over 2 years after my wife died. The very first time someone mentioned dating to me was 14 months after my wife died. And it was just a question of did I feel like I wanted to date. I said no, and it was left alone. But once the 2-year mark hit, I was told I was young and needed to get back out there. When I said I wasn't interested, some of my family turned on my in-laws and blamed them. They accused my in-laws of shaming me into staying single for the rest of my life and of pressuring me to stay a grieving widower for the rest of my life. I corrected my family who was saying those things, but it permanently fractured the relationship between the two sides. I took some time out from my family, explained why their behavior bothered me, and I asked them not to push or to bring it up again. I said if I date again it will be my choice and when I am ready, and not because other people have a timeline because of my age. They were better for a couple of years, but then it did come up again. I told them to stop trying to be subtle and focus on something else. That I was capable of deciding if and when I want to try dating again. This was also when I went back to therapy, and again it eased off. But then during a birthday party for one of my nephews, a couple of family members asked my kids directly if they didn't want a new mom. It pissed me off, but my kids' answer of no made me laugh a little because my family acted so shocked. That one-word answer really caught my family off guard. I took the kids home after that and I told my family that was unacceptable. I got responses back that they were just looking out for us and leaving was a bad move, etc. So I told them it was time to put distance between me and anyone who can't accept my decision not to date right now. I told them anyone else who wanted to pressure me or use my kids like that I would also be no contact with. I blocked quite a few family members. Anyone who doesn't mention it isn't as bad isn't yet. I did have one relative ask why I couldn't just ignore it and why I had to go no contact. I told them bringing my kids into it was going too far and I had given them more chances already, but they wouldn't stop. I told the relative I am old enough to make the decision for myself. They told me they didn't agree, but it's up to me. They said they thought I was being too harsh when the family's actions come from a place of care. So,